I wanted to go back to your point about on designing like a good tools in your MCP server. Is it a here, let me just lift everything from my API and generate the exact tools in the MCP server? Like, what are the gotchas that you think like this actually doesn't translate? Like pagination is actually one that I've heard where it's like pagination actually does not translate very well from API to the MCP world. But maybe what are some other areas where you actually think this is not a lift and pull from your existing API into MCP tool land?
Yeah, I think pagination is a really good one. APIs which are not pure CRUD really struggle, I find. I also find that the ones that do exceptionally well are the ones with search endpoints. So like HubSpot has a generic search endpoint, which means whenever the LLM can't figure out what tool to use, search is a fallback, right? And then to search, it figures out what data is there. So that's really interesting because most products don't have a generic query search endpoint. That's actually only I think common in like CRMs and that kind of tooling. So yeah, I also think a lot of APIs don't have good error responses built in. And so when the LLM fails to get the right response, they don't always necessarily try with the right data, or, if it's a network error versus a client-side error, like those kind of things are not disambiguated in a lot of APIs, especially older ones. For us at Speakeasy, this is really exciting because this means like the thing that we've always known to be important is even more important, which is your API spec. Like your API spec needs to be a highly curated quality document that you put time into. And then if you do that, your MCP servers, your SDKs, your tool, whatever it is you're building are going to have all that right information. So that's the thing that I would like a lot of companies we talk to ask, like, how can they get ready for this wave of tools that are about to arrive? I think investing in like a great API spec, whether that's an open API spec, GraphQL spec, gRPC, like kind of whatever protocol you're using, making sure it's accurate, well documented. And this often is more of like an organization or process problem internally, like who's creating the API versus who's updating the docs. If you can solve that problem, I think you're actually in a pretty good space to take advantage of all the stuff coming up.